Hey guys, welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb, your host, and today we're going to be talking about the latest news that's been happening in India's startup ecosystem over the course of the last week. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Jio Glass, as well as their new OTT aggregation service, Zomato's incredible response to the COVID-19 pandemic, MobiKwik's ongoing growth, Unacademy's latest acquisition, as well as Freshworks' latest acquisition, the ecosystem's latest layoffs, all of the latest funding news, and more coming up right after this. All right, so first up, of course, before anything else, we have to talk about Reliance Industries' latest AGM. It's the first time that they've ever done one of these annual general meetings virtually. And of course, the thing that everybody is talking about that they announced during this 2020 AGM is Jio Glass. So you can watch the full AGM for yourself. We'll be putting a link to it in the description of this video. But essentially what Jio Glass is are glasses that mixed augmented reality with virtual reality to create MR, or mixed reality. So just to fill you guys in case you don't know the differences between VR, AR, and MR, virtual reality or VR is fully immersive, meaning that you can't see the world around you. If you held up your hands in front of your eyes, you wouldn't be able to see them because there's a screen blocking your view of your hands. You might be able to see virtual hands. If you're holding some controllers, for example, you might be able to see some representations of where your hands are, but you can't actually see your physical hands. You can't see the room that you're in, nothing like that. And usually when you're using VR, you also have a headset so that you can't hear the world around you either. AR, on the other hand, is augmented reality, meaning that you can see everything around you. Usually you can hear everything that's going on around you as well, but you've also got a screen which overlays some information onto the world that you're looking at. So the simple version of that would be, for example, you just got a WhatsApp message and that comes down on the little screen in front of your eyes and you can see it and you can read it and perhaps you can even respond to it. And MR is when you mix these two things together. So there was a couple of different use cases that were showed off during this AGM. For example, I can definitely see how Jio Glass would be useful to teachers in a classroom context in order to better convey what they're talking about, in order to make lessons more engaging for students. And that's one of the things that they showed off during this AGM was a virtual classroom where a teacher is able to use VR to show students things that they might not otherwise be able to see with just a traditional chalkboard or a whiteboard. Another one of the use cases that was showed off at this AGM was a business meeting where people are interacting with documents in virtual space. I think that's also very possible. All that would really need to be done is documents would need to be pulled from a user's phone and then rendered in 3D space so that everybody can interact with them. It's definitely not going to be winning any style points. It's very bulky. It has a camera right there in front of your eyes so that everybody knows that you've got a camera there, and that's something that was an issue with previous AR and MR glasses like Google Glass. You also have to apparently connect the Jio glasses to your phone using a cord or a cable in order to access the full functionality of your Jio glasses, which to me doesn't seem like a smart design choice. I think that it would probably be better if they use some proprietary wireless technology or some Bluetooth technology, because people are moving towards wireless more and more these days. And fewer people even want to have headphones in their ears that are connected to their phones. It's kind of a pain. I haven't used wired headphones in years. That being said though, Jio Glass wasn't announced with a date, so we don't know when it's going to be launching. We also don't know how much it's going to cost. You can't even pre-order them. So it could be that Jio is going to be working on these glasses for a while, maybe taking some of the feedback that they've received thanks to the AGM, and perhaps making the form factor a little bit sleeker, maybe making the functionality a little bit smoother. That's my hope, because I think that this is a really cool concept, but it's just not quite there yet. But moving on to the next cool detail about this AGM, Jio announced Jio TV Plus. Jio TV Plus is an OTT, that's over-the-top streaming platform aggregator. And to my knowledge, this is the first of its kind. You're gonna have platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, Hotstar, Sony LIV, and a couple of other ones. Now, I do not think that this means that you have to pay a single subscription and have access to all of these different platforms. I don't think that's what Jio was announcing here. I think that it's more of a platform that enables you to log into all of your accounts of these OTT platforms simultaneously so that you can see the content from all of these platforms at once. And as someone who uses a couple of different OTT streaming services, I definitely understand why this would be valuable to people. It's kind of annoying to have to switch out from one OTT app and into another when you're using your smart TV or when you're using your streaming box. And so to have everything right there in front of you without having to switch apps, without having to switch out of one account and enter into another is definitely going to be very convenient. All right, next up in the news, let's talk about Zomato's performance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, up until very recently, and you'll know this if you've been watching these weekly news videos, my understanding was that Zomato and Swiggy were really suffering because of the novel coronavirus. However, a recent blog post from Zomato has definitely changed my mind. Zomato has managed to grow its revenue by over 100% to reach $394 million in the financial year of 2020 from $192 million in 2019. Now, the company's EBITDA loss, which stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization loss, still remains on the higher side at $293 million, but that's just a marginal increase from the $277 million loss that they saw in 2019. In fact, Zomato claims that the COVID-19 pandemic has helped them to bring efficiency in their spending and accelerate their journey towards profitability. They're also estimating that they're going to be able to bring down their monthly burn rate to under $1 million in July of this year. That's a 90% drop from the $12 million during the same month in the previous year. The company is also expecting that their business is going to return to pre-COVID-19 levels in the next 3 to 6 months. All right, next up in the news, Indian digital payment company MobiKwik marked its third consecutive year of posting 100% growth in revenue since the financial year of 2018. During the financial year of 2020, the company grew its net revenue to 379 crore rupees from 162 crores in 2019. They also managed to bring down their EBITDA loss by 60% to 45 crore rupees this year from 112 crore rupees in 2019. Also, I think it's worth pointing out that while MobiKwik's consumer payments business, aka their wallets business, grew by nearly 2.6x from 89 crore rupees in 2019 to 230 crore rupees in 2020, the company's new digital lending business grew by 3.2x from 29 crore rupees in 2019 to 91 crore rupees in 2020. All right, next up in the news, Indian edtech giant Unacademy has acquired a majority stake in online learning platform Mastree for $5 million. This news is coming just days after Unacademy had acquired PrepLadder and said that they were looking to expand their presence through an inorganic acquisition growth strategy. This is Unacademy's fifth acquisition after Wi-Fi Study, Creatrix, CodeChef, and of course PrepLadder. Unacademy's acquisition of Mastree is expected to strengthen its position in the K-12 education market. This deal is also going to enable Mastree's investor, Bloom Ventures, to exit the company. And according to NTracker, this acquisition has valued Mastree at around 100 crore rupees. Founded by Shrey Goyal and Royal Jain, Mastree is an 8-month-old startup which offers a subscription-based learning platform for students from classes 5th to 8th. It includes interactive live classes, doubt solving, and personalized practice sessions. All right, next up in the news, Indian SaaS unicorn Freshworks has acquired IT orchestration and cloud management platform Flint. This acquisition is going to help Freshworks to strengthen its IT support service called Freshservice by enabling it to automate employee workflows and optimize spend across IT service management and IT operations management capabilities. Founded by Ankur Gakkar and Abhishek Pandey in 2013, Flint offers a cloud-based management platform that enables IT companies to integrate, orchestrate, and automate all of their enterprise operations. Post-acquisition, Flint's co-founder Ankit Gakkar is going to be heading Freshworks' automation and cloud management product team, while Abhishek Pandey will be leading the platform and technology integration effort. Alright, next up in the news, Bizongo, which is a B2B packaging solutions provider, has laid off 140 employees in order to cut costs and conserve capital. The company had roughly 250 to 300 employees, which means that it's laid off nearly half of its workforce. Talking about the decision, Aniket Deb, who's the CEO of Bizongo, told Ntracker that Bizongo unfortunately had to undertake a workforce rationalization exercise forced by the raging COVID-19 pandemic, and its after effects resulting in a slowing economy. We tried to avoid this step for as long as we could, but we had to implement the restructuring process due to the disruption to the economy. According to the Ntracker report, the company has paid severance packages to all of the impacted employees as per their contracts, and will continue to provide health insurance until the next renewal. Alright, next up in the news, Google has announced that they're going to be investing 75,000 crore rupees, that's roughly $10 billion, into India over the course of the next 5 to 7 years through their Google for India Digitisation Fund. Talking about Google's plans to support the government of India's Digital India program, Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google's parent company Alphabet, said that we'll do this through a mix of equity investments, partnerships, and operational, infrastructure, and ecosystem investments. This is a reflection of our confidence in the future of India and its digital economy. These investments will focus on 4 key areas: providing affordable access to technology and information to Indians in their regional language, building products and services for new users, empowering small businesses to come online, and also contributing to social causes by using technology in areas like health, education, and agriculture. Alright, moving on to some funding news now. Indian e-commerce giant Flipkart has raised a massive $1.2 billion from its parent company Walmart at a valuation of $24.9 billion. Apart from Walmart, other existing shareholders have also participated in the round, and the investment will be received by Flipkart in 2 separate transactions over the course of this financial year. These funds are going to help Flipkart to get back on their feet amidst the COVID-19 pandemic as they continue to build products and services for millions of users who are coming online for the first time. These funds are also going to help Flipkart to stay competitive in the e-commerce market, which is heating up a little bit with the entry of Reliance through JioMart, which is already available across 200 cities in India. That being said though, at the moment, Flipkart continues to be the market leader, reporting a 45% growth in monthly active users and a 30% growth in transactions per customer in the financial year of 2020. Alright, next up in the funding news, you knew it was coming, Jio Platforms has raised even more funds. Specifically, they've raised 33,737 crore rupees from Google at a 7.73% equity, making this Google's first investment from its $10 billion Google for India Digitization Fund that I mentioned earlier. This partnership is going to enable Jio to develop entry-level affordable smartphones by optimizing Android OS for around 400 million Indian users who are still using feature phones. Apart from this, Jio Platforms has also raised 730 crore rupees from Qualcomm Ventures, which is the investment arm of Qualcomm, for a 0.15% equity. This partnership with Qualcomm, which is a world-leading 5G and wireless technology player, is going to enable Jio to roll out advanced 5G infrastructure and services for Indian customers to help the country more seamlessly move from 4G to 5G. With these investments, Jio Platforms has now raised more than 150,000 crore rupees from a range of strategic investors for a 33% equity. Alright, next up in the funding news, digital content and technology company JetSynthesys has raised 300 crore rupees from Infosys' co-founder Kris Gopalakrishnan, Serum Institute of India's CEO Adar Poonwala, and the parent company of JetSynthesys, Jetline Group. The company is going to be using this fresh capital to strengthen its gaming and digital content offerings while investing in sales and marketing to expand its customer base over the coming 36 months. Founded by Raja Navani in 2014, JetSynthesys operates across multiple verticals including gaming, digital media, and fintech. Over the next 24 to 36 months, the company is looking to generate revenue worth 100 crore rupees from each of its platforms. In the gaming segment, some of its popular mobile games include Sachin Saga, World Ludo Champions, and Being Salman. Alright, next up in the funding news, healthcare-focused VC firm HealthQuad has marked the first close of its second fund at 514 crore rupees. This fund has a target corpus of 550 crore rupees. The fund has received commitments from global investors like SIDBI, the Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association of America, Swedfund and American pharma giant Merck Co. One of the co-founders and the chief investment officer at HealthQuad, Charles-Antoine Jensen, said that we believe that the recent COVID-19 pandemic has given an impetus to the digital transformation of healthcare. HealthQuad is committed towards creating an ecosystem of such category-defining companies that improve accessibility and affordability and elevate the overall healthcare standards in India. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do leave a comment down below. Join the discussion. There's always a lot of dialogue going on there these days, so feel free to jump in. Also, if you're not already subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We post new videos every single week about Indian startups, entrepreneurs, and the latest news. So hit subscribe, and while you're at it, you might as well hit the like button as well. And if you know of somebody who you think would enjoy this video, please do share it with them. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Backstage with Millionaires, and I will see you in the next one.